For over a decade, Pawn Stars has been one of America's most beloved reality shows. Set inside the gold and silver pawn shop in Las Vegas, the series introduced us to a cast of unforgettable characters, hilarious banter, and fascinating historical treasures. But behind the deals and the laughs, the Pawn Stars family has faced heartbreaking loss. Today, we remember 10 beloved cast members, experts, and personalities connected to the show who have tragically passed away, honoring their stories, their contributions, and the legacies they left behind. Richard Benjamin Harrison, better known to fans simply as the Old Man, was the foundation of Pawn Stars. Born on March 4, 1941, in Danville, Virginia, he grew up in humble surroundings before joining the U.S. Navy at just 17. For 20 years, Harrison served his country before retiring and moving to Las Vegas with his family. In 1989, Richard and his son Rick opened the Gold and Silver Pawn Shop, which later became the setting for Pawn Stars on screen. He quickly became a fan favorite with his dry wit, sharp business sense, and no-nonsense attitude. Beneath the tough exterior, though, was a man deeply dedicated to his family and his work. Tragically, after battling Parkinson's disease, Richard Harrison passed away on June 25, 2018, at the age of 77. His death was a devastating loss for the cast and for millions of fans worldwide. Rick Harrison later said, "He was my hero, and I was fortunate to have him as my dad." To this day, his presence is deeply missed in the shop. Mark Hall Patton, known to viewers as the Beard of Knowledge. Mark Hall Patton was a museum administrator and historian who often appeared on the show to authenticate rare historical artifacts with his trademark white beard, wide-brimmed hat, and encyclopedic knowledge. Mark became a standout guest star. Born in 1954, he spent his career working in museums and historical societies, eventually becoming the administrator of the Clark County Museum System in Nevada. His passion for history was unmatched, and on Pawn Stars, he taught viewers that every object has a story. Sadly, Mark passed away in February 2021 at the age of 67. His death left a deep hole not only in the Pawn Stars universe, but also in the Koa Museum community. He had served for decades. Fans remember him as a man who made history exciting and accessible. Danny Coker, while Danny the Count Coker became famous through counting cars. And as a recurring expert on Pawn Stars, his love for vehicles came from his father, Danny Coker, Sr. The elder Coker was a gifted musician and mechanic who inspired his son's passion for restoration and custom cars. Though Danny Sr. passed away in 2008 before Pawn Stars first aired, his influence was felt throughout both shows. Without his teachings and inspiration, the crossover energy between Pawn Stars and counting cars might never have existed. Fans often remember Danny Jr., crediting his father as the man who made it all possible. Austin Chumley Russell has always been the comic relief of Pawn Stars, but away from the cameras, his life has been marked by real tragedy. In 2009, just as the show was starting to gain traction, Chumley lost his father to pancreatic cancer. At only 54 years old, though not a cast member himself, Chumley's father was an important influence in his life. Chumley has spoken openly about how painful that loss was and how it shaped the way he values family and friendships today. Fans often see his goofiness as a mask that hides a much deeper, more emotional side. Rick Dale, the restoration expert, often featured on Pawn Stars and later star of American Restoration, worked with a close-knit team of craftsmen. Sadly, a few members of that extended crew have passed away over the years. Though not always in front of the camera, their skills and dedication helped breathe new life into countless historical treasures. Their passing reminds us that behind every episode were unsung heroes who contributed quietly but powerfully to the show's success. Joe Ashman, one of the show's firearms experts, appeared on Pawn Stars to appraise antique and rare weapons. Known for his deep knowledge of American military history, Ashmans.com, an authoritative presence, reassured viewers that every weapon brought to him would be carefully evaluated. Sadly, Joe passed away in the late 2010s, leaving behind both a family and a community of collectors who respected his expertise. Bob Ewis was a vintage toy expert whose excitement about rare collectibles was contagious. Whether it was classic tin toys or rare action figures, Bob's passion turned every segment into a nostalgic trip down memory lane. He passed away in our recent years, and his death was felt deeply by toy collectors and fans of the show who remembered how he lit up whenever a rare piece of childhood history came through the pawn shop doors. Sean Rich, an antique weapons expert, often appeared in the early seasons of Pawn Stars. His extensive knowledge of historic firearms, swords, and armor made him invaluable to the shop. Sean also served as an arms consultant for major Hollywood films, including Pirates of the Caribbean. Tragically, Sean passed away in 2022, leaving fans and the historical weapons community in mourning. Olivia Black worked behind the counter on Pawn Stars for a brief time, quickly becoming a fan favorite for her edgy style and upbeat energy. Unfortunately, she passed away in 2023 at a young age. shocking fans who remembered her fondly from her time on the show. Though her run was short, her impact on viewers was lasting. Finally, it's important to remember the many other appraisers, historians, and specialists who contributed to Pawn Stars but have since passed away. Each of them helped bring authenticity and excitement to the show, ensuring that every object wasn't just valued in dollars, but also in historical significance. Their collective loss is a reminder that the world of history and antiques is built on the dedication of passionate individuals. The gold and silver pawn shop may still stand in Las Vegas, and new episodes of Pawn Stars continue to air. But the show will never be quite the same without these remarkable people. From Richard the Old Man, Harrison's sharp humor to Mark Hall, Patton's encyclopedic knowledge, each loss has left a permanent void in the Pawn Stars family. Their stories remind us that while treasures can be bought and sold, the real value comes from the people who share their passion, their knowledge, and their humanity. Which of these Pawn Stars legends do you miss the most? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more true Hollywood and TV history stories.